she'll give us the countdown in a second here. And we'll be good to go. So, and then
Great.
we're just talking to each other. And then if I say, tell everyone home how the best way to reach you or best contact you, you look into that camera right there.
That one right there. Okay, perfect.
All right. So start my time here. All right. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello everyone, my name is Michael Bevilacqua. I'm the President and CEO of the Merrimack Valley Chamber of Commerce, and I'd like to welcome you all to another edition of the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program. I'm here with a special guest today, Emily Vallario, who's the owner and founder of Witchy. So welcome, Emily.
Thanks so much, Michael. It's really a pleasure to be here with you today.
Yes, you've been a chamber member for a while now, so it's great to have you on the show so you can tell everyone at home a little bit of what you do and how they can get involved as well. So with that being said, Witchy, tell us what that is.
Yeah, so I'll give you a little context. I started my career as a clinical pharmacist. I worked in a large community health center and then at a large primary care practice. And what I did in those roles, I basically served as a primary care provider team member. Folks would be referred to me for help managing diabetes, smoking cessation, weight loss. So I got to develop relationships with patients and prescribe medications and coach and counsel them in that setting. And I got to this point where I felt like what I wanted to go all in on was the person, the people that I was meeting and working with, and really help them figure out what they wanted for their lives, help them crystallize the motivation that was going to help them live their healthiest and happiest lives. And the medications are important, but it wasn't my passion anymore. So I found a way to do the parts that I love most about that work and go all in on the people. So now what I do is holistic health coaching, and I help folks not just look at their physical health, which I see as kind of one aspect of health, but also mental, emotional, and spiritual health as well. So we look at the whole picture in my holistic health coaching.
Excellent. And I was going to say, hearing your background, you really have to love working with people, not only working with people, but seeing them succeed, getting them on the right path. And that's why I think you're doing so well in your new role with Witchy. How long have you been in the business with this?
Yeah, so I left my last job as a clinical pharmacist on August 9th, and at that point went all in on building this business. Yeah, so we're about 6 months, a little over 6 months.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
For someone who starts the program with you, how does it all work? How does it start, and where do you go from there?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have a lot of different inroads to working with me. I do classes in third spaces where we really kind of take a look at what your motivation is, and I help you kind of build your toolkit. So thinking about how to access your metacognition, which is really thinking about thinking. We access our metacognition anytime we make a goal. We access metacognition anytime we do some self-reflection. Having that distance from our, what's going on right now immediately in front of us and taking a step back is hugely powerful. So building that, and then also just connecting you to resources around you. I like to call them magical allies, but things like the foods that we choose, right? I like to think about an apple. An apple isn't just calories and nutrients. It's a whole history in that apple that our subconscious is aware of. We're connected to the soil where that apple grew. We're connected to the history of that apple. And every time we eat it, it's not just the physical aspect of it. It's the whole thing that we can kind of lean on. Or like a color, right? How many of us have chosen the color yellow when we needed a little pick-me-up, a little cheer in our lives? So kind of unpacking some of the associations we have with everything around us can allow us to live our lives with more intention.
Yeah. And I was thinking of that, with everyone's so busy these days, there's no time to slow down. You have your phones, you can keep looking at all night. You help people really slow down, it sounds like.
That's a big part of my work. It's a big part of my work. Yep, exactly. Taking that step back so we can have a little bit of clarity, so we can have a little bit of peace and know the best path forward for us without feeling like we're just kind of being buffeted around by the current and, I have to do this next and this next, but we can take a little bit of a longer view. Yeah, we can take a longer view and see what we really want and put energy there.
No, that's pretty cool. And you've been in business for just under a year now. What have you learned from being in business now for yourself? What has been some of your favorite things that have happened?
I love that question. My favorite thing, and I would say this is the key to it all, is the networking. It's meeting the people. It's hearing other folks' stories. It's being inspired by that passion that you see from other people. There's just so much value in networking and connecting. We learn more about ourselves. We learn more about how to convey our own message more clearly, more succinctly. We learn, we see people that we admire, and we're able to kind of figure out what it is that really resonates with us about their approach and adopt that for ourselves. And we get to link arms and find ways to do things together. Like, I've been so privileged to meet people that I've been able to co-host events with. I met Robert Siniglia, who's a financial advisor. You wouldn't necessarily think a health coach and a financial advisor would have any common ground, but we were able to host a little event for women to help them kind of think about their financial future. Or Cynthia Wright, a headhunter. You wouldn't necessarily think there was overlap there, but we found a lot in common. And I was on her show in the past. So networking is the absolute magic.
Yeah, it's being part of the Merrimack Valley Chamber. I don't think anyone hosts more networking events in the Chamber. And I know once you first started getting started, you came to some of the networking events, and I saw you making those connections in person. And that's what it's all about, making those connections, working together, and growing together. And it seems like that's almost what you're doing with your business as well.
That's exactly right. Yeah, it's funny. I like to think of, a business is kind of just a mirror for yourself, right? I think for a lot of us, at least that's how I see it. It's funny, actually, when I went into business or was thinking about it, I have a friend who's a functional medicine nurse practitioner, and she said, just be ready when you start a business. It's like therapy on steroids. She's like, because not only do you have to kind of figure out your growth edges and where you can continue to learn and develop and grow, but now your financial future is, at stake as well. So it's kind of a... So yeah, I sort of think about the work I'm doing with the company. It's a reflection of me, which is fortunately supported by a whole bunch of great folks through networking.
Yeah, and I think one of the things you have to do when you own your own business is love what you do. Or with any job, really. And you can really tell you love what you do. You know your stuff. You want to help people. And I think your past experience now can play into fact with this new business as well. So for the people watching at home, if they want to learn more, if they need to contact you, how's the best way to reach you? Yeah,
so best way to reach me is either through my website, which is witchyandwell.com, or you can email me at emily@witchyandwell.com. So either one of those ways is a great way to get in touch with me. I also have social media, and you can find links to all that on my website.
Now, for those people watching and thinking, I wonder if this is right for me, what would you say to them? Who are the people that should contact you? How do they know it's right for them?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I like to think that the work I'm doing right now has been a way for me to be my own medicine. So really, my target demographic is folks like me. So young professional women, especially those women who are struggling with weight loss, which was part of my journey in the past. So I was able to kind of set a course forward for myself that felt empowering, and I was able to lose about 60 pounds. So, if that is your journey, if you're a young professional woman who is maybe just feeling a little bit out of alignment, maybe feeling kind of just burdened and heavy and ready to kind of find your self-empowerment and your path forward, you're a great fit for my program.
No, it's great, and it's great that you're able to help people as well. How is the best way for people to contact you? Through those websites you gave earlier?
Yeah, either one of those, or I have Instagram, which is witchy_well. That's another great way to reach out to me. You can send me a direct message and take a look at some of my videos and witchy tidbits there.
It's always great to learn more through the social media as well.
Yeah,
now, speaking of learning, as a small business owner, woman in business, new business owner, what are some of the challenges that you've faced starting the business?
Oh yeah, that's a great question.
Or getting to where you are today.
Yeah, I think, first starting out, one of the great blessings, but also, I don't know, curse is a strong word, is that you just don't know what you don't know. And I think that's probably true at every step, because there's always something new to learn. So initially, what I didn't know was probably how valuable it is to make a first impression and to be intentional about what you want your brand to say and who you want to be and who your target audience is. I'll be honest, it took me a little while to figure exactly who my target audience was. So there's no shame there, but it's something I didn't know was going to be a challenge. There are so many things that I've learned along the way. I think the importance of just people.
And a lot of the times too, you have those challenges. You don't know what to expect until you actually get through it.
Exactly.
That's how you actually learn by
That's
doing
how you
it.
learn.
So.
Exactly. So there's no shame in not knowing. I think the important thing is to take a little bit of a risk, right?
Yeah.
Not a risk that's going to harm you, but something that'll push you a little bit out of your comfort zone
Yeah.
to grow, to prove to yourself and your central nervous system, hey, I can do hard things. I'm capable of doing,
Yeah.
something that gets me
You
excited.
can figure it out. So.
You can figure it out.
Yeah.
That's right. And you find people that will support you.
Now, as I mentioned, we mentioned earlier, you're still in your first year of business.
Yeah.
And congratulations again. What is the response been from your customers? What is the response been
Yeah.
from people who've been in the program?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of curiosity, right? I think that's kind of the first way in, because it is a little bit off the beaten path.
Yes.
And I think people are finding they're connecting with themselves in a way they weren't expecting. So just some silly examples. I do a color magic workshop, and I had a client. Part of what we do is we look at each color and figure out our associations with each color. And so for the color yellow, she had written, it reminds her of her dad, right? That was always his favorite color.
Yep.
And so then later I ask, what's a color that means protection to you? And she chose yellow.
Okay.
And so, I don't think she had connected the dots yet, but it was because of her,
Wow.
the connection with her father. So
And she never even thought of
and
it.
she never even thought of it, right?
Wow.
But now, now that she knows that, she can choose yellow with intention, feel
Yes.
connected to him.
Means more
it
now, I'm
means
sure,
more.
too, so.
Yeah, so that's a lot of what I do is kind of that subtle, gentle self-discovery,
Things that
self-reflection.
people have done forever, they don't know the reason why. You help bring it out.
Exactly. And then
Excellent.
we can use it to our advantage.
Now, I know you had some exciting news as well you wanted to bring
Yeah.
up today. So, as we're winding down the episode, why don't you tell everyone home about this news?
Yeah, so I'm really excited to announce I'm going to be offering a 6-week women's weight loss container. And so it will involve one-on-one coaching with me. It will involve some crafts, contemplative processes, and self-reflection. And it will also allow you to connect with 6 different healers and different modalities for healing. We'll have an astrologer and hypnotist. We'll have an embodiment coach. We'll have a holistic dietitian. So lots of different folks to help you connect and take a different perspective than you may have already when it comes to thinking about weight loss. And this program is going to be great for folks who are maybe curious about the GLP-1 receptor agonist. So coming from pharmacy, I'm well acquainted with the weight loss drugs, and I can be a resource for you to talk about those. So if you're curious, we can answer questions about the drugs like Wegovy, like Zepbound, and also if you're currently on one of those medications and it's working well for you, and you're looking for an off ramp down the road, or if you're on one of those medications and it's just not helping, anybody kind of in that situation is a great candidate to learn more about the program and find another take on health and holistic wellness.
That's great. And do you have any information like the dates yet, or is
Yeah,
that still
so it'll be
being planned?
starting mid-April, and
Okay.
more information on the specifics to come.
Excellent. It'll be all on your website.
It'll all be on the website, exactly.
Perfect.
Yeah.
As we start to close out the episode, is there anything you want to add to the that we haven't mentioned yet?
I think we covered it. And Michael, I'm so grateful for everything you've done for the chamber. It's magic.
Well, it's great to work with new members, new businesses. That's what it's all about. As you mentioned, making connections, working together. That's what the Merrimack Valley Chamber is about, and we're really honored to have you as a member as well.
Thank you. It's my great privilege.
Excellent. So tell everyone home one last time the best contact information, the best
Yeah.
website before you sign off.
Yeah, absolutely. So my website is witchyandwell.com, and the word "and" is spelled out A-N-D. Or you can contact me by email at Emily, E-M-I-L-Y, @witchyandwell.com. Both great places to find me.
Excellent. Well, thank you again, Emily. We appreciate being part of the show, and congratulations on still a few months away, but almost a year in business.
Thank you. I appreciate that, Michael.
Thank
Thanks
you.
so
We
much.
appreciate it. Thanks for being a guest on the show today, and we want to thank you all for being a guest on the Merrimack Valley Chamber Means Business program today. Thank you. And I'll just close out. So.
Awesome.
Yeah, great
Sounds
job though.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
you made it easy today.
Oh,
so.
good. That's
Yeah.
good.